Hey, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy SMTD Drizzy here, and I know I'm late, but I was gone, and I missed a lot of shit at E3, apparently. But everyone's telling me, oh, have you seen the new the Dragon Ball Z Kakarot gameplay and trailer? I was like, wait, wasn't it supposed to be Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball Project Z or something like that? And then apparently they released the trailer, so I watched the gameplay, but I'm probably gonna throw. Well, no, I'm not gonna throw it in at the end of this. But I'm gonna throw the trailer. I'm gonna react to the trailer. I watched the interview with the gameplay. So, basically the game, well, like it's expected. Just like everyone that is a constant Dragon Ball Z game uploader, they know this, and most of the fans know this, that every year we get a different style of game, it seems like. We never really have 2 years where the games are exactly the same. I think the last time we've ever had that is, no, I don't think the Universe 1 and 2 came out right after each other. I think there was another game in between there. I'm not certain. It might have been those two. But usually we get a different, like, style of game pretty much every year. Not necessarily, well, sort of a style of game, but the gameplay brings me way back to the legacy of Goku days, which, oh my god, those games were so fun. They were hard at first, but once you got the hang of it, it was pretty damn fun. So, if that's how it is, then boom, I'm good. I'm good with that. And basically, we get to dumb down our thinking and our controls, so we don't have to try as hard. Well, not necessarily try as hard, but like there doesn't seem to be as many combos, at least from the gameplay. Doesn't seem to be as many combos. So this is more for like casual people, which I know there's gonna be a lot of complaints talking about how it's just gonna go through the Dragon Ball Z story and all that, and I don't see that as a problem. A lot of people see that as a problem, but I don't see that as a problem because I actually like playing through the Dragon Ball Z story. Because usually when it's another story, when they try to make up their own story, they just add the movie characters in, and they'll be like, oh yeah, we're gonna mind control these nerds, and you're gonna have to fight them. It's never good when they come up with their own story. I think it's better when they just piggyback off the Dragon Ball story. But we could also see movie characters added in as DLC, which, honestly, in my opinion, I think that is the way they should do it. They should add in the movie characters as DLC. Now, we don't know how far the game's gonna go into the Dragon Ball Z story, but hopefully it goes all the way up to the Buu arc at least, and then maybe Super for DLC or something. Like, I'd be down with that. But from what I saw in the gameplay, you don't necessarily fight as another character, or at least he didn't. There might be parts, like say Goku when he dies after the Raditz fight, he might actually play as somebody else, like maybe that time. But otherwise, it seems like you're just gonna play as Goku, and whoever is there during the anime is like a side character, like how Piccolo was in the gameplay. Now, my only downside with the simple fact that you play as Goku and mostly Goku is the fact that, well, I'm a Vegeta fan, so I actually like despise Goku's plot armor. So that's my only issue. But otherwise, I like the way that you have to fish and gain materials to like level up. I think that's a really good idea for an open world RPG style Dragon Ball game. Which open world, it's somewhat of an open world, but it's not truly an open world. Because open world, it'd be like, okay, I could fast travel to Namek if I wanted to. But like they were saying in the interview, it's like partially open world. So you have an area here, like you have the desert area, which I'm almost certain that Earth is gonna be fully like open. But it's like when you go to Namek, then you go to Namek. it's not like you can just fly off the Namek anytime you wanted to. So when you're at Namek, you're at Namek. Which, for Dragon Ball Z, that's kind of how you have to do it, because Namek does get exploded. Like, it'd be weird, because if you think about it, with all the planets that will be named in the very beginning, because you're gonna have Bardock's, well, Bardock should be at the beginning, because it's at the beginning of pretty much every Dragon Ball game. If you think about that, that's technically a planet, or Planet Vegeta is technically a planet, the planet that Bardock's from. So if it was truly open world, we would need to have that as a planet as well, which would just be weird. But I want to see if they choose to throw in Super or not. I know that Fighters did not want to throw in, not Fighters. Shit, I forgot the name of the game. There was another game for a different anime. Oh, I think it was... I don't remember. It was a game that started off throwing in the older characters. They didn't want to throw in the younger, or they threw in young characters and older characters, but they didn't want to throw the middle stage characters in, because they didn't want their character list to be freaking massive. But I want to see how they do Super, if they do Super, because they might. I honestly think they're gonna add it in as DLC, because that makes perfect sense to me. Even though I hate paying for DLC, it just makes sense for them to add it in as DLC. Now, the flight, the graphics, and everything else is beautiful. It's probably gonna be one of the better looking Dragon Ball Z games, in my opinion. I mean, I know Fighters has really good graphics for like a Dragon Ball style game. It has really great graphics. But I'm just interested because I like RPGs, like open world RPGs, a lot more than I like 2D, like 2D, 3D, well, 2D fighting games. Like, it goes RPGs, fight, and then RPGs. I think I'd say it's RPGs, MMOs, and then fighting games. At least Dragon Ball wise, because I've been burnt out of fighting games, because we always find ourselves making a fighting game. Just because it's probably the easiest thing to do for Dragon Ball, because that's all they do is fight. But I'm happy to see that an RPG is being made, even though you really only play as Goku, which to my defense, or to their defense, it would be really, really difficult to do all of the characters. Just because, how would you start off as Vegeta? Would you start off on planet Earth? You start out at planet Vegeta getting sent to that other planet to destroy all their life or something. Like, it'd be a little difficult. So them starting off with Goku was pretty good. Now I could also see them adding DLC where they start off with a different character, like you play as a different character, like Vegeta, but less Vegeta, more Trunks or Frieza or something like that. Probably Trunks, like the future timeline, and then they might add in Super that way. I just, the DLC opportunities for this game is endless. But they said that there's gonna be parts of the story in the game that weren't released in the anime, so we might actually see Goku learn instant transmission from the Yard Rats and stuff like that. That would be pretty interesting, and I want to know what they have else in store for shit they ain't showing the anime. I'm curious. I am very curious to think that there's more that I haven't actually seen in Dragon Ball Z. Like, if they do Super, then they might actually like release how they learned Blue and all that. I'm just curious at this point. Now the the combat itself, it's so many flashing colors, man. It's beautiful. I can't wait to get my hands on the game because of the simple fact that it like usually a Dragon Ball game will look amazing, and then once you get your hands on it, it's either still amazing or terrible. And that usually determines whether or not it's gonna be a good game or not. Whether like the combat flows and all this. And I really do have really high hopes for this. Like I have extremely high hopes for Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, just because I want a good Dragon Ball MMO, or not MMO. That would be Xenoverse. I want a good Dragon Ball RPG that whenever I'm bored, I can sit down and replay it over and over again and not get bored. Because Xenoverse, I get bored way too easily. Way too easily. Just because, like, so you want to go online and find multiplayer in Xenoverse, you'll get stomped if you don't play it every day, it seems like. But, people are complaining that there might not be multiplayer in this, or at least that's from what the comment section of the interview was. I honestly don't think there will be multiplayer, just because of the simple fact of, oh jeez, like, I know people are, no matter what, people are gonna complain about not having multiplayer, just because that's how the Dragon Ball Z community has changed. But like I was saying, I had to take a short little pause. Like I was saying, it wouldn't make sense because we're playing as Goku. So like, what are they gonna do? Carry your Goku levels over, or are you just gonna like smash your face in with Goku? I don't understand where people are coming from. Maybe if they allow us to play as other characters, I could understand them adding a multiplayer. But then it doesn't make sense because A, the combat system is so simplistic and like casual, like I said earlier, that it wouldn't make sense. It's an RPG. It's not a MMO or a multiplayer game. It's a RPG. So I'm not too worried about that. I do want multiplayer just so I can play with the SMTD boys, but if we don't get multiplayer, we don't get multiplayer. It doesn't even matter to me. Shit. What was the other complaint I saw? I already talked about. Oh yeah, like I just said, some people are complaining that the combat system is kind of dumbed down, which that's more of the guys that like fighters. Those are the people that are complaining about that. Fighters in Xenoverse. You gotta give us a break, man. My thumbs hurt from playing those. My thumbs hurt from playing those two games. So like, just like how Mortal Kombat 11 is way dumbed down in the controls, I feel like they're gonna take the time to dumb down their controls and make it a little easier for the casual people. Which, me being one of those people, I'm kind of glad. So with that being said, we're gonna move on to the trailer, and I'm gonna play it once and then talk about it. And with that being said, I'll meet you after the trailer. Alright, we out.
Where are you, Goku? We need your help! Come on, Nimbus. We gotta hurry. Which one wants to die next? Ha! Either way, you're all dead! What are you looking at, punk? I'm gonna pound you into a pulp!
Think you can handle this? Prepare to be flattened, Kakarot!
Kakarot! Please, please defeat Frieza! No! Let him go, Frieza! Goku! Saiyan! Now I'm mad, Frieza! You dare mock me? I will not lose to a Saiyan! You must die by my hand! You fool!
I don't know if I said it earlier, but Akira Toriyama is a part of the development team. Or I guess it's giving them some information. The graphics look clean in my opinion, I'm not gonna lie. And to think this is beta, so then it's gonna improve further upon this. Yo, this game will be clean as fuck. Like, I don't know. Ooh. Okay, so they do got great apes. That's gonna be interesting. I wonder how those are gonna fight. Ooh, Frieza. Okay, so that just that just guarantees that we're gonna at least go past the android arc, because they'll never show the end of the game in a trailer. That doesn't make any sense. So we're at least going to the android arc, probably the Boo arc, and then stop. It did say something. It did say go through the Z story in like the interview, so that'll probably be what'll happen. We'll go through the Z story. So yeah, I'm ready though. I am ready. Expect a playthrough. I am ready. Let's go. Alright, with that being said, that's all I got for today, and I'm out. Peace out.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face. Tell me that you love me, even if it's fake.